Hello and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. Um, I want to say a Happy New Year before I ever start, because although I'm taping on Sunday, the end of the year, you're going to see this on Monday, January the 1st. And I will talk about the new year in my next video later in the week. This is to wrap up the year of Judy 2023. So this is actually January the 1st, 2024 that you'll be viewing this. And I want to welcome all my returning subscribers, all the new subscribers I got this year. Quite a few of you joined me throughout this year. It has been a great year. We've done a lot of interesting things. And now here we are to wrap up the December cal. But before I do that, I first want to show you some happy mail. I don't normally do that on this video, but they are Christmas cards that I received, and I really feel this is the time to acknowledge them, because next week we're starting a brand new year and we won't be talking about Christmas anymore. So I really want to thank these people. The first one, Warm Winter Wishes, with a snowman there. And this is, it just says, Be Merry. And it is a card from Lynanne at Nina's Knots Crochet. And she says that she's really looking forward to our mal for this year. And today you're going to find out, Lynanne. Next card is Christmas trees, and it says Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And this is from Renee. Renee is in Alabama. And finally, some cute little gnomes coming to wish me Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And there's quite a lengthy message I won't be reading to you, but this comes from Judy in Ontario, and this is the Judy that made the trip to see me at the craft show back in the fall. And she says that the year, Judy, may be over, but I know you'll be awesome in all the years to come and more. And thank you very much for the sentiments, Judy. So I want to thank all three of those people for your Christmas wishes. I appreciate that you took time out to actually send me a card. So we're going to get right into the slideshow for the items sent to me this month based on holly. I don't think I need to show holly again. This is the item that I made, and I did show it in my last video, so I'm not going to take it off. It is called the Mood Swings shawl. I will link it in the description box below. And I used 2 different skeins of yarn from EFA, that's Expression Fiber Arts. And one of them was this. I was going to do something with 2 skeins, and then I decided, no, I would put some solid in. So this is called pearlescent fingering. I don't care what year it is. I'm always going to have tongue twisters here that I'll mess up, so bear with me. And pearlescent fingering is 50% merino and 50% silk. It is very, very nice. You can see it has a little bit of halo. It does cling to itself a little bit. So that's the variegated part. Put that back where it came from. And the green. And I had this much. That, by the way, took an entire skein. It just had a teeny little piece at the end. And that's why I quit where I quit. I didn't want to go into a new skein. And then the green is Cash Silk Sock. And Cash Silk Sock, I don't have one in front of me, but it is made of merino, cashmere, and nylon. And it has, I think, 410 yards in in a skein, and I had that much left over because there wasn't as much green in this. I wish I'd put a little more at the beginning, but it didn't say to do a color change there. But this is also, the two of them are just heavenly feeling. So I'm going to measure it and work out that if it's equivalent to a mini skein. I'm going to be putting this in some project down the road at some point. So that's the item I have made this month. Now we're going to move on and get our slide. I just have to rearrange things here a little bit and get my notes out. So I'm going to share the screen with your items as they come up and tell you the little bit that I know about them. A lot of great red, white, and green items. Some people didn't have all three colors. They may have used only one of the colors, but they were all great Christmas gifts that you could give to people. So our first item is from Cindy, who is in Costa Rica, and she made this doily, and it is a pattern from Creative Grandma. Next, we have Debbie, and I say Debbie P because I have another Debbie P, who sent me a couple of items, and the first was these Christmas trees, and they are from MJ's Off the Hook. And I believe she is a YouTube person, so is probably a tutorial on those. And then next, she says this is the very first corner-to-corner blanket that she's ever made, and it's a present for Christmas. It's a little bit dark to see because she has a dark background, but I think you can make it out. Next, we have Deb from Arizona also, and the first picture is a cowl or scarf. I think, though, it's a cowl and a matching headband. And the next picture she sent me was a tree and some coasters she made. And she says she gets out this snowman every year because her granddaughter made it. Next, we have Judy T. I have a number of Judys, and this one is also from Ontario. She is a fairly new subscriber. Excuse me. And Judy sent a picture of a blanket. I think she's, yes, starts with holding the blanket. And I think it's called Liliana. And it's a pattern by Hooked on Sunshine. And then she shows a rug supposed to match it. And it's a Crochet Home Rug 44. And this is a YouTube tutorial by Mixed Candy. I've never heard of that channel. And then she has a shawl, and this is the Ana Lucia shawl, and it's by Wilmade. Now that quite likely might be a YouTube tutorial because it's Wilma Westenberg is Wilmade, and she does a lot on YouTube. Next, from Tammy, who is also in Ontario, we have this tree skirt. Then I hope I have my notes straight. I had them mixed up. This is from Lisa, who is in Florida, and she has made these first three doilies, which are inspired by a YouTube channel called Crochet Art Tutorials. The designer is Maggie Lopez. And then here is one more. And if I understand correctly, it's the same designer and can be found on YouTube. Then from Sherry, who is in Alabama, we have first this green hat. I like how the green switches color. I think maybe it's 2 different yarns. And then we have this red wrap. And Sherry, I think we'd appreciate knowing the pattern if you still know the pattern and designer. I know I like it. I wouldn't mind giving it a try. Next, from Hillary, we have this Santa hat that she made specifically for her son. I think he'll get a kick out of that. Then Magina, who is Hillary, I don't know where she's from. She's probably told me and I've forgotten. Magina is in Connecticut, and she made these swirl coasters, and she said they came from an actual pillow pattern by Yarnspirations. Next, we have Rebecca from Mississippi, and she has done a scarf and headband. And then she did a shawl with a matching sweater for her fur baby. And she says her fur baby just loves it. And you probably can't see it, but they are in glitter, those two. It's a Hobby Lobby glitter. And next from Susan, again, I don't know where Susan's from, we have this Christmas Afghan. And I have a question from Susan, and I'll be back to ask that in a little bit. Next, we have Kathy, who is also in Ontario. And she says she's not into making socks, so she made all these little stockings. And she says they can be used as ornaments on the tree, or they could be used as gift card holders. Then we have HD, and I know she's told me where she's from in the past, but I don't remember. And she's made this mobile case cover. And then we have Lenan, who is from Florida. She's Nina's Knots Crochet. Lenan has made this shawl, and she has used Crystal from Bag O' Day. She's used Crystal's post-virus shawl, but she said she modified it, and instead of putting the posts in, she put in the alpine stitch. But the post-virus shawl is a modification of Fiber Spider's Granny Meets Virus. So she could have used either pattern and made some modifications for the part that is between the viruses. Then we have Christine. Christine is from Kentucky, and she is a relatively new viewer for maybe 6 weeks, 2 months. And Christine has made, I'm going to show you 2 bears because the bears used different yarns. And I think if you look closely, you'll see the difference in the yarns. And she said, this is amigurumi, and she said it's from a pattern called Keep Calm and Crochet, and that is a YouTube channel. Next, we have the Fanfare Wrap from Anvita, and Anvita is in India, and hers, yes, Anvita only knits, so hers would be a knitted wrap, a beautiful wrap. She likes to make shawls and wraps. Moving on, we get this asymmetrical shawl from Adam in the UK. Adam says he didn't use a pattern. He just did the moss stitch. It's very, very similar to the one where I'm alternating colors. And he has used a gradient cake, and he used this cake because it had the green in it. Then from Bonnie, who is local to me, She said she didn't have any green, so, which is surprising, Bonnie. I would think you would. But anyway, she made some hats in red, which will go in our donation box. And she made some white snowflakes that'll go on her Christmas tree. Next, we have, just a sec. I want to keep this note in front of me, and I dropped it on the floor. Next, we have Josephine, who is in North Carolina, and she has sent these only 2 squares this month using, and look at, she put some holly on one of them. And I'm going to show you several pictures. I only ever show 1 picture for 1 item for each person because this gets long. But as you know, Josephine has been making 3 squares every month, and one of them is usually has a 3D flower on it. They always amaze me. But she's finally put them all together this month, and she put them together in a bag. So while I'm talking, I'm going to show you the 4 different sides of the bag so you can see all of the different squares that she made throughout the year. And she said the bag measures, it's a large one, she says, it measures 23 by 18 by 6. That's inches, folks. Centimeters would be much smaller. So that's the bag she made. She lined it. She's not happy with the lining. I didn't show you the lining, but she's really happy with the squares and how they went together. Now, Josephine also sent a Irish shawl for Christmas. Then Lisa from Alberta sent this granny cowl. It's called Granny Cowl with turtleneck or with neck warmer. It does look nice and cozy. Then Barbara M., who is also from Alberta, sent this sweet spot shawl. It's actually Tunisian crochet. So, Lynn-Ann, you might want to check this one out. It's called the Sweet Spot Shawl, and it's by Serena Castellanos. And she also sent the Breathe Easy scarf. I call them fashion scarves, and I'm in the middle of making this very pattern, Barbara. And this is by CJ Brady. Then Renee, who is in Alberta, sent us this baby sweater. So some baby will be all decked out for Christmas. Then Carmen in California has sent this cowl, and looks like a cowl that would also twist around like an infinity scarf. And it's called How to Crochet Crazy Fast Cowl. And it's by Fiber Flux. And you know you can find Fiber Flux on YouTube. Then Lillian, who is also in Ontario, sent this dress dish towel. She says it's a pattern by Crystal at Bag a Day. And then she also made some Christmas coasters. Then we get from Mary in Arizona. I think Mary is new. At least she's new in submitting something. She's in Arizona, and she did this vintage romance scarf by CJ Brady. Then Raylene, who is in South Australia, sent us these nesting baskets made with ribbon yarn, and ribbon yarn would be much the same as tape yarn. So that's a good idea to make use of that yarn, is these nesting baskets. Then we get Joan from Arizona, and I'm thinking she's pretty new as well. and she made this Christmas tree skirt. And we can't see it, but it's made with Premier Basic Shimmer. I don't think the shimmer shows through. And then finally, from Barbara B., who is in Missouri, sent this Santa doily. Do you see the faces in that doily? And I think it's made with thread. I'm not sure. I can't recall the actual look, but that's our final submission, is from Barbara. So that brings us to the end of the December submissions. This month, there were a couple less. There were only 28 submissions, not my usually 30 or 31. But that's okay, because I know the circumstances for a few people involved here, and things happened in their life. And also Christmas happened in everybody's life. So that would account for a few not having the time. But we did get submissions from some new people, and 28 is still really good. And on top of that, many of the people that submitted more than one. Some people submitted 2, 3, and even 4 items. So I'm quite pleased, being that I knew December would be down. So 28 people, that's really wonderful. I don't have anything else to say about it, except that now it's time to get out the wheel and make a selection of a winner. And this month, the winner is going to get still a gradient cake, but this time they're going to get a merino cake. So it is basically a 4-weight. I've been giving the gradient cotton and acrylic cakes, and they're very fine, maybe a number 1. And maybe not all of you work with a number 1 or really want a number 1. So I thought, well, we'll change it up. I have some of these, and I also have some alpaca. I'll maybe give an alpaca next time. But anyways, there is what the winner this month is going to get. So I need to find my wheel. I almost forgot to prepare this ahead, but the last minute I said, oops, you better get that wheel out. And here it is loading. And there's the wheel with everybody's name. And I just have to tap, and we will wait while it spins. So there we go. Spin, lots of names, and it's going to tell us who wins. And I'm pretty sure I can read that. Sherry, you have won this cake of yarn. I don't think I have your mailing information. So after you see this, Sherry, please email me. My email is in the box below, judyscreations21@gmail.com. Please email me and give me your mailing address, and I will get that out soon after. Now, I have a question from one of the viewers that sent in a submission, and she made her comment in the submission because she had a problem, and I thought maybe some of you could help with it. This person says that they watch all of my videos and everything on their iPhone, and she says she's never able to comment. She doesn't see a place to comment on the iPhone, so she's never able to participate in anything that goes on in my weekly videos. Is there a way, can we help her out? Those of you that watch this on an iPhone, or maybe you watch it somewhere else, but you could check on your iPhone and see if there is a place where you can make comments on my usual weekly videos. If so, would you please email me that information? Don't put it on here. It's probably too complicated to put it in the comments. But if you would email me that information and I can pass it on to the person that is having a problem commenting, and I would love to hear her comments. So that's just an aside, but I thought we would try to help her out. So, I better hang on to the name of that person, right? Okay, now the moment you've all been waiting for. Well, you're going to have to wait just a few minutes longer. The reason is, it's the first of a year, and I had quite a few new subscribers at the end of the year, and particularly in December. I maybe picked up 25 new subscribers as a result of doing the live with Gina. So I wanted to explain what happens with this monthly cow. You all see what happens at the end of the month. You've just seen the slideshow that I do every month. Technically at the end of the month when you've all finished, but I combine it with the first of the month, and other than one time in the year, I do it on day one of the next month, because on day one, like today, I want to show the new inspiration picture. So for those that are brand new, I want to explain what's going on. First of all, I will show a picture. Last year, I did the flower of the month. That's not my choice of flower. That's out there. You go look up flower of the month and you'll get a chart with the flowers. This year, we decided to change it up a bit and do tropical birds. So I'm going to show a picture on the first day of every month. You're going to look at the picture and pick out a color, two colors. Sometimes they have lots of colors and you don't have all the colors, but you can pick out one or two of the colors to make something. Maybe you use all of the colors to make something. You would have noticed in today's slideshow, for example, Bonnie said she didn't have green. That was fine. My holly had green and red on a white background, so she picked the white and the red. Somebody else did a sweater, I think it was Renee, in green and white. She didn't have red, and that's fine. What I'm saying is the picture is your inspiration to choose colors. You must choose colors from the picture and then make anything at all you wish. There are no rules about what you make. There are also no rules, well, there's one small rule, about the medium you use. In other words, you can cross stitch, you can knit, you can weave, you can dye yarn. There must be, felt. I forgot about that. You can felt. Anything that involves yarn. If you do a craft that involves yarn, and it must use the colors, some of the colors from the picture that I show you, you send that to me. Now, this year, we are not going to call it a cow because we're getting a lot of people that do other things other than crochet. And I don't want to put K/C. I'm going to use that for something else later this year. This is a make-along. You make whatever you want. You use any craft using yarn. And we're going to call it a make-along. I will put a hashtag in Instagram. I'll put a hashtag in Instagram. I'll try to put it on the screen below, but if not, it will be in my description box, and it's hashtag Judy's Mal 2024. And you're welcome to put your pictures there. But if you want to be in the slideshow, you have to send them to me at my email. That's the only way I can really get the pictures well. in my email, judyscreations21@gmail.com. Again, that's in the description box below. By sending me your picture, you are giving me permission to use the picture in the slideshow. You don't have to write that I give you permission, blah, blah, blah. Sending me a picture tells me you want your picture to be in my slideshow. And every month, I will give you a date that I have to have that picture by. And I always mean 12 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time. If you'd send it during the night, I'm not up during the night, so you're okay. But it means that the next morning, I'm probably going to start putting the slideshow together. So I think that covers all of the rules. I can't think of anything else. Is you can make what you want, you can use whatever yarn craft you want, and you must email them to me if you want to be in the slideshow. Oh, the other thing is, there'll probably be questions about Ravelry. I found that at the beginning, a few people used Ravelry, but not a lot. I think people don't like using Ravelry as much. And I kind of got behind as well, keeping Ravelry up. So I'm not going to make a Ravelry group for it this year. More people put it on Instagram. The most important thing is to email to me so it gets in the slideshow. So now, are you ready to see the picture? Well, let me give you a word of warning first. These are tropical birds, and at first I was going to use the calendar I had, but not all the pictures were all that great. And some of them had only one color in them, and I'd like to give people a little more choice than that. So I went online and Googled tropical birds, and I got lots and lots, as you can imagine. I was not able, though, always to pick. I went and just picked 12 that were a variety and had different colors and that just suited me, that, caught my attention. And most of them did not have names, so I'm not going to be able to give you a name of the bird. Some of them you'll recognize, but most of them are very different, and I just picked them because they were nice, bright pictures, different colors, more than one color choice. I didn't want any one color ones. So these will be hit and miss what they are. You may know them, you may not. If you know what they are, please tell me. I recognize a couple, but not many. And the other thing I want to say is I wanted to start the year off, what's the word I'm looking, with a bang, they usually say. You know me, I like things that are very different, unique. In this case, out of this world, maybe. This first picture is very different. Be prepared. It has a little bit of maybe shock value, but I wanted something that was quite colorful, had a lot of choices of colors, was very bright to set the tone for the year, because it's going to be very bright most of the time. There are a few exceptions. So if you're ready, if you're sitting down, I don't know the name of it, but here is our January inspiration. I fill the screen with it to give you time to get a screenshot. Okay, was that bizarre enough for you? I thought it was very different, but very colorful. Then at this time, I always put the picture up here, and I'll move over a little bit. I put the picture up here and show you what I have selected. Now I have some bright colors. I had a little problem. Well, there's yellow in there, but I did want to include yellow if I could. So I have a lot of minis now. None of the minis I got at Christmas were bright enough for this picture. So I'm going to put the picture up now. I have these colors, the bluey purple. The green isn't quite as bright as the green in there. And there's the pink, very bright pink. And my problem was the yellow. I did have this yellow, but it is very, very tiny. I would probably only get one row. And I went looking for yellows. I had a yellow in my advent, but it was dull actually compared to the yellows and these colors. So I did find this yellow. It's not as bright as I would like it. I'm not really sure if I'll put it in or if maybe before the end of the month I can find a yellow mini online and order it. I really like a yellow that's more like this. And I think what I'm going to do, because this isn't going to make anything very big, I'm going to combine it with this black. Might look charcoal to you, but it is, I think they call it ebony. Oh no, they call it cocoa black. Cocoa black. It's a Mirage Sport from EFA. You can see the EFA tag. And for sure I'll be using these. And hopefully I can find a yellow that I'm happy with. Maybe I'll only get one small row with this little yellow. But I really would like to put the yellow in because the yellow, and this yellow is a little too dull for it. The yellow is obvious in that picture, and I don't like to leave yellow out every time. I don't mind working with it on one project. So that's what I'm planning for my January make along. I have not picked out a pattern yet. It will depend a little bit on if I get another yellow that works. Now, the last thing we have to do is calendar. Hang on, I have one back here. Okay. My calendar of kittens. And let's go to January. So, well, this is very interesting. You know, I always do it on the 1st of the month. And the 1st of February is a Thursday. So February the 1st, we're going to have a very long video. We're going to do our usual end of the month, beginning of the month slideshow and everything on February the 1st, which is the Thursday. And we will do our regular show, although I'll try to make it briefer than normal for February the 1st. So, the problem is I teach on Mondays and Tuesdays, so I'll have a little bit of time on Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to say the 28th. I pretty much always say the 28th, and by sticking with the 28th, it becomes a number in your head that you remember. So Sunday evening, the 28th of January, is when you need to get your submissions to me. I'm hoping that those of you that submitted something this month will now go on Instagram and post some of your, I will go and post mine later today, and today is the day before. This is December 31st, I'll post mine. So when you get this video, this will be posted on Instagram. So keep in mind, January the 28th, that night, is a deadline for posting for submitting to me an email with the picture of your January item. I can hardly wait to see all these bright colored projects. So, what more can I say? Well, I'm going to say Happy New Year once more. And until Thursday, when I'll be back doing our normal routine, until then, happy hooking.